WeebaLu here. Happy SPOOP Month, guys! To celebrate one of my favorite months of the year, let's start the month with some extra scary stuff. The worst manga I've ever read. Now, okay, I haven't actually read a lot of manga in my life, and I'll admit that. Manga is a little harder to read sometimes, as it's definitely a lot pricier than anime, and it's often difficult to find official translations for manga I actually want to read. However, when I was watching Blame It on George's video, I saw at the end he placed a manga called Tokyo Red Hood as number 1. Being a curious dumbass, I decided to look it up and read the manga to see if it was as bad as he said. Side note, he was fucking right. With this, I seriously have to warn you guys, this isn't like Banana Fish where like the serious shit is implied through some shots or through dialogue. This is a really fucked up story. This manga, whatever genre it may be, has pedophilia, rape, organs getting ripped out, people getting cut in half, body disfigurement, nudity of all varieties, murder, cannibalism, rape again, necrophilia, animal abuse, and repeat that literally every fucking panel. The manga literally opens up to just straight up pedophilia for the first gosh damn panel. I mean, I don't know how else I can warn you guys. Seriously, do not read this manga unless you're a curious idiot like me. Oh, and don't expect me to show too much of this manga aside from a quick picture of what the characters look like. I'll be putting some gameplay over this. I don't know what yet as I'm recording, but I'll put it on screen as I'm talking, I guess. With that, just roll the intro as we dive into a world of the weirdest and worst manga I've ever read. Our story starts with Little Red, who I'll call Aka due to being a huge weeb, and calling her Little Red is kind of stupid. Aka just got it on with a disgusting old man because apparently she's a child prostitute. Gosh, I wish I could make this up, guys. She expresses to this fucking disgusting man how she literally wants to be vored by a Mr. Wolf. Maybe it's this shit that started the damn vor kink to begin with, I guess. Soon after, the cops show up and kill the sick fucker, and Aka gets involved with a gunfight where we see this little chick literally can't die and gets a little too excited by people trying to kill her. Meanwhile, some kid named Lupo is getting too excited about blood and murder. It's also gross and fucking weird. She then heads home to a butcher shop where she works for a butcher and helps him get human meat because apparently everyone went vegetarian or something, so I guess meat's hard to come by. To my knowledge, they don't explain why meat is so hard to come by, so... At night, an incubus flies around looking for virgins, I guess. Side note, the incubus is a pedophile like literally everything else in this manga, and he tries to rape Aka only for Aka to get really excited about this and for some reason rapes him back. I really wish I could be making this up. What the fuck? Did the author just kind of forget he literally has a 10-year-old in this motherfucking story? Like, dude, nani fuck? Why is she even a child? I'm so fucking salty right now, guys. Anyway, apparently the assault turns the incubus into a cat because apparently this fucked up manga, 3 chapters in by the way, needs a cutesy animal sidekick. I'm not even gonna fucking humor how or why it's possible at this point. So later on, some guy wants to kill Aka, so he hires your standard waifu with glasses to kill her. Her name is Vivi, and the two have a gunfight, which is actually kind of cool, I guess. It's certainly the only scene in this manga that hasn't made me want to throw up so far. Vivi has 4 arms for some reason, and because Aka can't die, the two become friends, I guess, and suddenly a ragtag group of fucking freaks in a gross-ass story emerges. I guess they have a mission to find out who the fuck is Mr. Wolf or whatever, so Aka can finally die, aka what I'm going to do after this review because this manga makes me want to perish. More necrophilia, pedophile, and everything under the sun happens to this group of freaks. Characters are introduced just to die. Lupo's losing it because he's starting to get into vor like a lot, so yeah. Then Spike Spiegel shows up, I guess, and helps jog Aka's memories that she apparently lost for some reason. It turns out that Aka was the queen of the demons or something and fell in love with an angel. Though it's less she fell in love with an angel and more the angel manipulated her so she could give birth to the Antichrist, I guess. When she gives birth, they wipe her memories and cast her out to the human world where they turn her into a little girl for some reason and tell her she needs to commit as many sins as possible. I guess that makes sense, but what does turning into a child have to do with any of this? I'm calling it now because I have no idea right now that the manga author did pedophilia hentai, didn't he? Anyway, that child she gave birth to, that's Lupo, who's her son, and you guessed it, the wolf. That's right, this little shit has to eat his own mother. Apparently eating her will cause an apocalypse because reasons, I guess. An angel shows up too, and first of all, the angel is like, you know, Rio from Devilman in body type, if you catch my drift. Second, they assault the angel and... You know the most iconic scene from Elfenlied, right? The scene where they kill the dog and it's hard to watch. You know, the most disgusting anime scene of all time? This fucking manga kills a gosh damn cat right in front of us. I was already disgusted when reading this manga, and it was this and a few other scenes that made me want to drop it. I really wanted to, and why did I keep reading? You ever hear the people say they want to see how far the rabbit hole goes? It was a mix of that and literally wanting to warn you guys not to read this shit, man. Anyway, so apparently a character we're hardly introduced to dies, and another fight scenes happens with Vivi. Aka manages to track down her son and confronts Mr. Angel, whose name I forgot because I stopped fucking caring at this point. Lupo's literally an animal right now, and Mr. Angel explains that he does love Aka and wants the two of them to have their own little world together, so he's gonna use Lupo to cause an apocalypse? What? Let's fucking carry on, because I'm not gonna humor this dude. Lupo eats Aka, but Aka prevents the apocalypse somehow, and the day is saved, because a world with heavily implied pedophiles is worth saving, am I right? Obviously, this story is really fucked up, and it's surprisingly short for what I explained. It only had 27 chapters and 4 volumes. When I was looking what genre it was, as I truly thought this was a really long lolly hentai gore manga, apparently it's an action horror. I mean, the horror fucking worked, as I'm horrified for life. People keep saying the story is semi-okay, but nah, it's awful. Like, okay, to play devil's advocate here, there are some good elements, like the fight scenes are interesting, but that's honestly it. Okay, so like, design-wise, it's not actually that bad. I surprisingly like Aka's design a lot, and I thought she was a very cute appearance. But then that's flushed down the damn toilet when she's literally naked throughout half the damn manga. Not to mention every cover is a fucking panty shot, gosh. Vivi's design I do like a lot, as she's kind of cute, and her 4 arms are interesting. I've never seen a character with multiple arms before, and I kinda like how it looks. There's this girl who briefly appears, and she's kind of cool in design, I guess. I mean, I like how the author draws such gritty streets, and I think maybe scenery drawing is where he shines, as I do find the way he draws disgusting streets to be pretty good, but that's about it. So we have Aka. Aka is basically really fucked up and disgusting. I don't even understand her backstory anyway. Like, she loved the angel guy, so like, why did she suddenly stop loving him? I mean, good on her for denying a crazy psycho, but like, she was super manipulated to the point of having his child, so like, bleh. Okay, Vivi was the redeeming character here. She's just cute and nice, so thumbs up for at least some kind of light in this muddy filth that is this manga. Also, I kind of noticed I have her haircut and her hairpins look like mine, so that's pleasant. I figured I'd mention it here, as I'm sure some of you guys are gonna point out that I look like Vivi in the comments. Ruka is literally an incubus pedophile with the personality of your stereotypical magical girl sassy pet sidekick, so honestly, what else is there to say? Lupo, this poor kid, literally born to vor. Just, gosh, someone save this kid. I mean, I guess in the beginning he reminds me of Armin from Attack on Titan, then just ends up literally an animal, so I can't, like, say much else. Mr. Angel Dude is next, whose name I probably won't find through a Google search of this abomination. He's literally just every thirsty angel in a manga or anime ever. Maybe Rio levels of thirst here for our demonic protagonist? Maybe? Everyone else goes into 2 categories. Either A, disgusting pedophile that needs to go through all 9 layers of hell at once, or a character introduced for that specific chapter that dies 2 or 3 chapters later by Aka or someone else. Which is what you expect from this shit, to be honest. After reading this manga and nearing the end of this script, I went online to check to see what the author's other work could possibly be, as I had some suspicion. And yep, I was right. The dude writes hentai for a living. Thank goodness he stopped in 2002, it seems. But yeah, I think I just fucking read eroge and now I want to die. Everywhere I went when looking for more details about this manga, everyone kept saying, "Oh, this is so good," or "Oh, this story is so badass." And I don't know if we were reading the same manga, but what I read made Elfenlied look like a little tea party slice of life anime. This manga is awful in storytelling, it's literally pedophilia, and I'm more than fucking glad that this was never made into an anime, as if I had to watch it, I probably would have ended up like Aka and want someone to kill me too. And you know when a YouTuber says, "Oh, don't read this, guys, it's bad," and it's usually some pissy baby shit? In this case, I seriously mean it when I say don't read it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go bleach my eyes and watch some innocent as fuck shit to get my mind off what the actual fuck I just read. Yes. Bless. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you managed to enjoy this, cause, well, not exactly a fun time talking about this shitty fucking manga. Hopefully you guys can't possibly recommend anything worse down in the comments. See you next time!